Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So, whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Welcome back to Gopher's Workshop. I'm your host, Aaron, and joining me, as always, is my fellow host, Chris.
And my notepad.
Oh, God. Here's the book. I don't know.
I've made lists, and not the fun kind of lists. So today, we're just going to kind of do an overview because there's been a lot of spoilers. There's been a lot of people talking about all the 11th edition stuff. And I'll be honest, I'm poo-pooing most of it. Not because I don't like any of it, because it's all like...
maybes.
It's not that they're maybes. They're like giving you official information, but it's so incomplete. It's like going out in the rain with a glass of water and being like, look at all the water that came down. Like, no, that's such a small portion of it. Yes, that's water that came down. It doesn't count. It's not enough.
I was driving into work today, and I watched a thing. I won't say from who, but there was a line in there, and I immediately shut it off. We arguably have most of the rules from 11th edition already.
No, not even close.
What?
Not even close.
The minute I heard that, I went, I don't want to listen to anything you have to say at all ever anymore. That statement, no.
I have a notepad. If we include all of the faction focuses, this isn't a full-size sheet of paper, by the way.
It's one of those like tiny little construction
ones. I've got like 5 sheets. I've got 5 sheets, if you include the faction focuses, worth of information that is solid. And I'm telling you right now, the faction focuses are incomplete.
Yep,
Look at this new detachment. Look what it does. You get this enhancement. It's a 1-point detachment. Hooray! Also, they have made it completely unclear as to what the 2-point detachments are, which ones are 3 points. So, like, what am I going to be able to mix this with? Because even some of the 1-point detachments have the, like, host keyword, so you can't combine it with other 1-point detachments. So, like, how can you even say the faction focuses are, like, information? No, they're a teaser, which is what they're designed to be. I'm not mad that they're a teaser, but they are. They're only a teaser. They are not watching a teaser video for a game coming out, like the Total War Warhammer 40K. You watch the teaser video they put out. Does that tell you about how the game plays? Does that tell you, is there a tutorial mission? Is there no, it doesn't give you any of that because it's only a teaser. And we're not mad at that video for not giving us all the information because we know it's a teaser. These faction focuses, yes, they're telling us about these 1-point detachments. We don't even know these are all the 1-point detachments.
No.
But also, how do you, I could combine this with this other detachment, right? Like, even you've done it. You're like, oh man, this one looks cool. I could combine it with the detachment I'm playing now. Okay, but do you know the detachment you're playing now isn't a 3-point? No. It might be a 3-point and you don't get to combine anything. You ain't got no chance.
No chance, son. No chance.
Is it going to be a 2-point? Probably. But again, they've said that most of the detachments we have now are going to be 2 points. Okay, that's great information. What is most? 50%? 51%? 90%? That turns out to be a giant difference. I don't know. None of us know. And that's part of my point, is like, there is solid information. I'm going to talk to you about some stuff today that is like, this is confirmed. This is good. Start learning this. Maybe even start playing this. Also, there is a single sheet worth of my notepad that we get to go over today because everything else is circumstantial. Everything else is who knows. There's too many variables. I don't even want to go over some of the information that we do know is solid because it's so dependent upon other information we don't have. I don't know what to tell you about it. For example, we have stealth. We know stealth is changing from a -1 to your hit roll to a -1 to your ballistic skill modifier. Hey, I would love to tell you that. Start using that. That's great. Also, you know what we don't know, since we don't have like almost any core rules, whether or not there's a cap on ballistic skill modifier. I don't know. Is there? Does this combine with, does stealth stack with cover? Does it not stack with cover? Because it turns out cover is also a ballistic skill modifier.
Right.
Maybe they don't stack. Maybe they do stack, but there's a cap on it. Maybe none of that's true and they do stack and there's no cap. And all of a sudden, even Space Marines are hitting on 6s. Like, I don't know. So should we talk about stealth? Probably not. Anyway, getting to my actual notepad. This is, so cleave. Cleave is a new keyword that is awesome. We don't know everything that's going to get cleave. We do know what cleave does though. Cleave is effectively blast as we know it, except for melee. So now for every 5 models in the enemy unit, you get 1 extra attack. Pretty solid. Love cleave, excited about cleave. Arguably should have already been in the game. Glad we got it. Next, you've got this is a quirky thing. Pistol is going away, sort of. They're renaming it to close quarters.
Okay.
So I think this is actually good because when you call it a pistol, the number of, and I'm included, the number of things that have like pistol in the name that didn't have the keyword, there wasn't very many, but there were some, and they felt frustrating because it's like, no, it says it's a pistol. Why don't I get pistol? Then there's other things where they like they weren't a pistol, but arguably they like thematically probably should have been able to shoot into combat. Now calling it close quarters, I think it alleviates some of the frustration from like the lower heads, right? It says pistol in the name. I should be able to do it. It also allows them the flexibility to like, well, you know what? This shotgun, I know it's not a pistol, but also it's a shotgun. We'll give you close quarters, and now you get to shoot it in combat. So like, it's little things like that I think it's a relatively minor change, but the change gives them the flexibility to do some cool stuff later on down the road. Moving on, we've got heavy. Heavy technically is changing. So heavy as we know it, the +1 to you know your hit roll or ballistic skill or whatever. Heavy is effectively the same, but there's one major change. There are two major changes that I want to go over. The first is you do not get heavy if you are engaged in combat. So now you're like tanks, right? I've got my gladiator. They tagged me and locked me up with some scouts or nurglings or whatever else. Well, I'll just shoot out. Well, the fact that I have heavy on my gun no longer applies, so I don't get to ignore that -1 to hit from being engaged. So like, again, that's pretty big. It affects tanks mostly, but that does matter. The other thing is they're allowing you to move with heavy. Not very much. You have to move, I think it's 3 inches or less. Maybe it's less than 3 inches. I don't know if you can move 3 exactly, but under 3 inches, you get to move and still gain the benefit of heavy. This seems huge for a couple of reasons. First off, there's a couple of units in the game. I don't know how long they're going to last in the game. There's a couple of units in the game that have heavy and only move like 3 or 4 inches. You're telling me there's like those servo turrets, the Fire Strike servo turrets that probably go away soon. They get to basically just move and gain the heavy penalty all the time, or benefit, not penalty, heavy benefit all the time, because why not? Hell yeah. Centurions, they move like 4 inches. Well, what if I move 3 and then gain the benefit of heavy all the time? Yeah, I'm still moving incredibly slow, but I was going to be moving incredibly slow anyway. So why not take the heavy? Again, it's minor things, but I do think that's going to make a major impact. What's interesting to me is with this heavy benefit change, does this mean I can fall back? And if I can fall back and shoot, I can fall back like the 1.5 inches needed to be outside of engagement range, or 2 inches to be outside of engagement range, depending on how close they are, and then still gain the heavy penalty or benefit, even though I fell back. That's going to be good. Blast is getting a minor change. Blast is effectively the same, but now it's Blast X. So before we had Blast, that's all it was. Now they're putting a number on it. So Blast 1, exactly what we know and remember. But again, this opens them up the freedom to say, well, this gets Blast 2, or this has Blast 1, but then its ability is if, I don't know, during the WA, or when something happens, you actually get +1 to your Blast number. So now, like, you could end up with higher Blast numbers. What I think is is interesting is certain things. I'm going to go with like a Vindicator, let's say. I wouldn't be surprised if they said Vindicators go from D6 +3 down to D6. They get nerfed hard. But instead of having Blast, they have like Blast 3. So now it's only a D6 against other tanks.
Yeah.
It got nerfed. The minute you're not shooting at a tank, D6 plus Blast 3 means that, like, oh, you've got a 10-man brick. You mean D6 +6. Haha, get them. Like, and that could be reasonable, though, right? Because we're talking about, like, a high explosive thing that's in lore, right? It's like an artillery shell that they basically just pointed straight forward. So, like, this could make a lot of sense, but also help balance the thing to where it's like Vindicator isn't just one of the best tanks that Space Marines have access to all the time. Now there's like, well, situationally, it's really impressive. And in situationally, it's just okay. That's reasonable.
This also keeps, like, things like this, I've noticed, it's going to stop the points fluctuation all the time, too, which is going to be great.
Yeah.
Because right now you're getting a data slate update like every 3 months. Towards the end of the 10th, we were getting it like once a month, it seemed.
Okay, but most of that was like new release stuff, right? Because they started releasing a bunch of new units, so they were like adding those in. I wish that
were true. We were getting points updates on everything all the time.
Well, again, it was mostly new things and then nerfing Catan like 3 times in a row. But regardless of that, yes, no, I think you're right. And what the clarification I want to make there, though, is yes, I think we get less point changes. But the reason I think we get less point changes is because this granularity allows them to make something not that isn't just more balanced, but is more balanced into different metas. Yeah. Because I think that's the big thing, right? Like, certain things got cheaper during the Knight meta. Yeah. Well, because they didn't deal with Knights very well. When we got out of the Knight meta, and it was like, okay, well, now we have to deal with all these, like, I don't want to say horde things, but we went back to more elitist armies. Well, now Knights aren't showing up as much. These things are really good. We need to up them in points again. So you're like bouncing back and forth because of the meta changes. If again, Vindicator being the example here, if it's worse against tanks all the time, but it's better against hordes all the time, well, now it's easier to point balance because as the meta shifts, this thing, which was not very good there and was good here, made more sense to begin with. We already planned for that in the data sheet, so the points don't need to be adjusted for the meta shift. Another big one, and it relates to the Thousand Suns faction focus especially, but Psychic Keyword is getting a major buff. Psychic Keyword basically says they ignore hit modifiers, ballistic skill modifiers, ignoring most modifiers, not all, but most modifiers for psychic attacks. Interesting note, if I remember correctly, you still have wound modifiers that exist, but it's basically the hit and the ballistic skill and weapon skill, like anything that would involve in the hit roll, those all get ignored by psychic attacks, which in itself is still a major buff, right? Because right now the Psychic Keyword kind of doesn't do much of anything. Now it actually means something, right? I don't want to go into the faction focuses really today, but specifically the Thousand Suns, one of their new detachments was giving out the Psychic Keyword to a bunch of weapons, which is to effectively say it's giving out ignore modifiers, which is, again, really good. Okay, and the last keyword I want to go over is the changes to the fly keyword.
Ooh, buddy. Okay,
This
I have complaints,
is-
but also
No.
I'll wait. I'll wait.
There's no complaints.
I have a complaint.
This is not as crazy as fly used to be, but this is back in the direction because it used to be fly was the most powerful keyword in the game. And then it became almost irrelevant. I'm not saying it was irrelevant, but it was like, in comparison, it was kind of like psychic. It does matter, but it doesn't matter that much.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're going back in the direction of we want to give the keyword mean something. And yes, this is becoming very powerful. I'm not saying it isn't. It is powerful again. Hell yeah. But it's not as crazy as it used to be. So what the fly keyword does is now whenever a fly keyword unit goes to move, they can declare jumping into the sky or off a cliff or whatever the fancy word is they want to use.
Taking to the skies.
Like I
It's
said,
not that hard.
Falling with style is what we're going to
Oh
call
my
it.
god.
So every time a fly keyword wants to fall with style, they reduce 2 inches to their maximum move.
Hmm?
Okay, so jump pack unit, that's the example, right? 12-inch move, now it goes to 10-inch move. In doing so, they get to ignore terrain, ignore enemy models, and ignore vertical distance.
Okay.
So you basically measure horizontally, pick a spot, that's where it goes.
Here's where both my complaints lie. You ready? One,
I've got
I
more,
was
but-
already doing that. Why are we doing this?
Because you were already doing that. Because you stacked 2 keywords, fly and infantry.
You're right. So if I can still stack those keywords, again,
Yep. You
then I
have to take
don't
to the side.
care.
You're right.
Fine, no complaint. Secondly, this is where the actual complaint comes in because I already know, like, I'm going to stack infantry. It's going to negate it. I'm fine, right?
Yep.
This is the joking complaint. The real complaint? Tell me why a gladiator lancer gets to go through a building now?
What do you mean?
They have keyword fly.
No, they don't. Uh-huh.
They have keyword fly.
Check again, big boy.
Oh God, do they not? Was I wrong?
Okay. When the Lancer and the Repulsor first came out, a Gladiator, to clarify here,
Yeah.
because there are multiple Lancers.
Yeah.
When the Gladiators and the Repulsors, the Primaris tanks, first came out, they had the fly keyword.
Okay, yeah, so I'm not misremembering things.
Then they lost it,
Oh.
and they've had it gone for multiple codexes now.
Okay, all right. Well, all right. So okay.
Now, that being said, will they get the fly keyword back in 11th edition? Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. We don't have the new codex yet.
Okay. I apologize. I freaked out for no reason.
That's, again, when they first came out, they absolutely had the fly keyword.
And again, that's what I'm remembering is that, yep.
Then they lost it. They haven't had it for a while. Maybe they'll get it back. Maybe they won't. I don't know. I'm guessing they won't get it back.
They shouldn't,
That being
if I'm honest.
said-
Hover, I'd be okay with, but fly, that's a little much.
Right. That being said, yes, vehicles and monsters are where this makes a giant difference.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you about a third of the game called Xenos. Okay?
Right. Mm.
Tau.
You're right, Tau.
Everything has the fly keyword, unless you're like a Kroot. Everything has the fly keyword. Oh, yeah, Kroot and Broadside. Sorry.
Yeah,
that one guy. Fuck
That one guy, fuck that
He's,
guy.
he's too fat for a suit. He can't fly. Anyway. But no, now, like all Tau,
Yeah.
like a Riptide, because they used a Riptide in the picture, right?
They did.
Now they just say -2 inches. I'm going to go straight through the wall. I don't care that I'm a vehicle. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Moving
it's
on.
good. It's not good for your opponent, but it's good for you.
Okay, and for most of Tau, I'll be honest, giving them the vehicle keyword on Crisis battle suits had some benefits. No complaint. I'll be honest, it felt like a nerf. I'd rather have mobility, especially as Tau.
You're right.
I think Crisis suits specifically should have been able to do this anyway.
Yeah, but you could have given the crisis suits arguably.
Like infantry and
Infantry,
vehicle for no
yeah.
reason, which feels dumb. But yeah, you could have. So I don't mind that. But again, I feel like Crisis suits should have been able to go through walls anyway. Now, when we're talking about like some other things, Riptides have giant jump packs. I'm not mad that they get to do this. Does it feel kind of nuts that fly transports like the Devilfish get to do this now?
Yep.
absolutely appropriate. Also, fuck, I got to deal with that now. Like, again, reasonable, but powerful. Moving on from Tau, Necrons. Now I can just have my Doomsdare actually protected. And then I get to fly over a wall and then actually shoot a guy in the face. Hell yeah. Obviously, this applies to Ghost Arcs 2. That alternate build that no one has played in the entire edition.
You're right.
That might actually be playable now. Hooray!
Hooray!
Moving on from Necrons, because there's still more options there too, right? Like Tomb Blades, they get to go through walls now effectively, even though they were mounted.
You want to know one I actually have a legitimate complaint about? And I'm sure it'll be fixed, because that whole detachment's going to become useless. Fulgrim.
Okay. I had to have an argument about this.
We're going to have a detachment made specifically for him, so he can go through buildings. Also,
yes,
he can just go through buildings now.
This is objectively a buff to Fulgrim.
You're right.
Not because this benefits Fulgrim. It's a buff to Fulgrim because now Fulgrim gets to play in other detachments.
You're right. That's what.
Here's my counter argument. Even without that,
did it matter?
I still like that detachment over most others. Not all others, most others. And I say that because the +1 to strength and AP on the charge is so friggin' good. And it's got good strats besides
don't I know
walls.
it.
Like, again, just giving something the -1 to wound.
I'm sorry, right now.
Hell yeah. Like,
I'm going to tell you right now, if I could give my chainswords AP2,
oh no, you're using on like Flawless Blades who are charging and getting AP4. And then you're looking at a tank like, you're not saving. You're not allowed. Just die.
You're right.
Again, it's so good. Even with this change, it is a buff to Fulgrim without any other information, which to be fair, again, we got a cup of water. I got like 10% of the information that's going to apply to EC.
There's going to be a lot more.
So I don't know. But with only this 10% of information, I'm telling you, I'm still playing that detachment. Change to fly, Fulgrim's better. He doesn't need to use the strat. I hear you. I'm still using that detachment because that detachment is awesome.
The argument is, and this is where I stand with it. This is why I'm upset. But I am, again, everything we're talking about, the only real thing I'm upset about is like the fact that a devilfish can now go through a fucking build. Anyway.
But I'm not upset about it. Again, that thematically makes sense. It is, I think, appropriate.
How does it thematically when I could punch a tank and they go, don't hit me? How is that thematic that they can drive through a building? Because,
well, first off, because they're driving over it. Did you see the giant turbine engines that are on both sides, basically making it a jet?
All right, now I'm not mad anymore. I didn't think about that.
That thing's meant to basically be an aircraft carrier. Not an aircraft carrier, but it's supposed to be like a Huey.
Yeah.
Is what it's basically a helicopter that just comes down, drops dudes off, gets the hell out of there. Like,
all right, well, not mad anymore.
VTOL.
All that
VTOL is the
said,
word I'm looking for.
I think, and this is my guesstimate. All right, I'm guessing. I think that whole Fulgrim detachment's about to lose the whole Fulgrim crap and get updated, and then it's going to be a 2.1 point detachment. And they're like, how about some AP buffs and some strength?
Yep, and you know what? I'm going to be
good.
happier for it because that's what I wanted in the first place. That strength and AP buff is so huge with reasonable stratagems and a couple of good enhancements. Again, taking the enhancement to make the Lord Exultant slightly better and then attach him to Flawless Blades. That's my favorite part about the detachment. It's so Exultant should go with Flawless Blades. He's so good. Again, you don't need Fulgrim walking through walls to make that detachment good. The fact that he gets to walk through walls makes him more playable in other detachments now. Happy he's getting it. That's not what makes Fulgrim good.
No.
Anyway, so the thing that here's what we all get to actually be scared of. I'm legitimately
Battle Shocks?
No, the for fly keyword.
Oh,
the thing we actually have to be scared of. Do you know of everyone in the entire game who's getting a benefit? Fulgrim, Angron, I hear you. They're scary. They're scarier now. The problem is Eldar again. Do you know how many, every vehicle except for Warwalkers has the fly keyword, do you know how fast they are?
And now you're telling them buildings.
You're telling them -2 inches to their move. And they're like, yeah, so I'm still moving 14. Didn't care. Also, you know what their army rule is? More movement buffs. So you're telling them -2 inches, and they're like, I wasn't going to use those inches anyway. Let me just spend this battle focus token so that I get to still move 14 after the -2, ignoring walls. You can't overwatch me. I'm going to blow your goddamn face off. Oh yeah, and then I'll spend another battle focus, and then I'll jump back behind this template so you can't shoot me.
Oh my God.
Holy cow. Calm down, jet bikes. Calm down.
Oh, I forgot about jet bikes. They're so
fast.
Okay. When I fought the bikes, current edition, they're a problem. They can be dealt with, but they're a problem, right?
They're still good.
And
they just got a giant buff.
They just got the buff they needed to be, oh my God, holy crap, why are you not taking a whole list of these? Oof.
Eldar are about to be the problem. And it's not because they had any changes. It's because fly keyword got this much more powerful. And it's on like almost every data sheet that matters. Crap. All right. We should take a mid-break. After we get back, we'll talk about all of the actual physical things they've spoiled, models, and the like.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
You know that moment when you're cozied up at your favorite bar? That's what we do every week.
A lot of the stuff that I was doing back then, I look back and that was so silly and so crazy. I had a liquid nitrogen ice cream shop. The girls were wearing bikinis and lab coats and making liquid nitrogen ice cream from alcohol. And it was just this only in Las Vegas crazy thing.
The Speakeasy is a raucous ride through the world of spirits, cocktails, bartending, and more. With hosts who know a thing or two about making drinks and drinking.
I don't want anybody to be apathetic about this brand. I want them to feel something, even if it's negative, hence our fresh FCK tagline. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on here.
Please. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pull up a chair and join us for the world's longest running cocktail podcast. The Speakeasy, out on Fridays, wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, here we are, middle of the episode. Grills. What do we do in the middle of the episode?
Many things, but we start with the patrons.
That's not how you say it. That's wrong. Do it again, and this time with feeling.
No.
Patrons. So first up, we have to thank our guardsman patron, Matt's Mini Minute, Sergeant Matt's Mini Minute.
You get it right.
And of course, Captain Beefalo. Again, I don't understand the rank structure for our guardsmen.
You don't question it.
Also, we have to thank our other guardsman patron, Andy. Yay!
Why do you always make it sound like Toy Story, Andy? Just
because that's the only thing I can think of. So,
you know what?
I'm going to write Andy on my shoe.
Yep. I was going to say, when he leaves is like the going away present that he just writes his name on the bottom.
Yes, he has to write his name on the bottom of our shoes. We got to thank our White Shield Guardsman patrons, Mitch, Nicodemus, and Taburus. And of course, Stephen Grice.
Thanks, buddy.
Say what?
Said thanks, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. And then, of course, our Servo Skull patrons, Des and Renee. So thank you to our patrons, our ever-growing list. Remember when we had like one?
I do.
It was
Dark times.
It's Dark Tide. Thank you to our patrons, because without you, the show wouldn't be possible. And thank you to our dear listeners, because, again, you support us in so many ways. You listen to us whole weekly.
You just said Dark Tide, and I had a terrible idea.
Oh, God, what?
Do we refer to the listeners as the Gopher Hive City?
The Gopher Hive City. No. Oh, thank you to the Gopher Hive.
Nope, I hate it. It sounds Tyranid related now.
So terrible. Oh, bugs. Anyway.
All right, so next thing for old Midbreaky. 11th edition box is coming up.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, it's coming up very soon. It might even go up this Sunday. The reason I say that,
you shush your face and don't make promises you can't keep.
I'm not promising that. I'm going to explain. GW, my rep, sent me an email this week for my interest numbers. This is the first time they've used that terminology ever. So this doesn't count as me officially requesting stuff. But then when I ask, he's like, yeah, we're basically going to use that as your request. We're not obligating you to pay for all of those, but also we're going to gauge our numbers off of that. So they've basically already asked me for numbers. Again, they're not official. I haven't gotten my allocations. They would not even tell me the official price of the box yet, even though we kind of all already know. So I don't know if it's going to be this week or next week or what. But it will be soon. It's about to be here. So for those of you, I don't know the official box price per se. Pretty sure we know it. Regardless of what that number is, whatever GW says it is for you in your country, 15% off. That's what we do. So you know what? I take that back. It's 15% off of the US price.
Yeah,
then converted.
Yeah. So be careful with that because they don't do the daily conversion thing.
In fact, if New Zealand or Australia wants me to ship them some, I
will.
I
but
don't
also
know what the price is for you guys because it's all crazy. Anyway,
we're taking a shot in the dark.
But yeah, so if you want some of those, I asked for by the pallet. Don't ask me how many's on a pallet because I don't know that either. But I'm pretty sure I ordered by the pallet. It was a lot. We'll see how many they actually give me.
You're right.
Assuming they give me as many as I hope, I should have you covered. When I gave them my number, my rep said, holy shit, really? Which means I don't know I'm getting that many. Either way, shoot me an email. If you want one, I'll get you the 15% off US prices. I will ship it damn near anywhere. If it doesn't let you ship it there, shoot me an email. I'll see if I can figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah, we've had a couple people that would be like, I couldn't get the thing shipped to Puerto Rico. And we're like, we figured it out.
Yeah, no, and we're shipping to Puerto Rico now. We're shipping to most of Europe. We're shipping to parts of Asia. Mm-hmm. All the APOs and AFPOs, we're sending to all those already. Yep. Anyway.
We're sending everywhere we're safe to and allowed to.
Yeah, pretty much that we're allowed to.
Yeah.
And again, if it says we can't ship it there, we will look into it and see if we can. Anywho, send us in those emails.
Yeah.
It'll help us gauge numbers so that when my rep comes back with a low ball allocation number, I can bitch about it and try to get it higher.
Also, it helps us to get things to you. Yeah, we've already got one email. Eric sent us an email, was like, about that mid break, you guys talked about the 11th box. Gib, what that 11th edition box.
But no, I think it's important for you guys to send emails because I don't know how this is going to go, right? I don't know how many they're going to allocate me. I don't know how long they're going to survive on GW's website. Notoriously, not long. So you send me an email. I make sure that I never put it on my website. I hold one aside for you.
Yep.
Technically, yours is safe before anyone's even allowed to purchase one anywhere. I'll take care of you. But also, you got to send me those emails. So I think that's what I've got for Yield Mid-Break. Hopefully, next time we'll have more information for you. But for the time being, GW still doesn't want to give us anything official. They just keep hinting at a lot.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I guess we'll go end our mid-break and go to the last part of our episode. Here we are, the last part of the episode. I
haven't gone anywhere. Also, did you just try to do like a bad Dracula?
I did. Blah.
Okay. All right.
I want more 11th edition. Blah.
Well, we get to talk about models and data sheets now.
Oh, boy.
So we have not gotten very many, but we have gotten almost all of the data sheets from the 11th edition box so far.
Before we go any further, I have to apologize to our fans.
You better. I don't know.
Because I lied. So for about, since this podcast started, I've been talking mad shit about a certain Blood Angels model. Dante.
I don't know what that has to do with the 11th edition box, but all right, sure.
I just wanted to say, because we're talking about data sheets, I was wrong. He has a purpose.
We've been doing some play testing.
We have.
With partial 11th edition rules like the new terrain and objective layouts.
Yep.
And
turns out he's really fucking good if you're using them in a specific way.
But going back to our previous episode, it's with the proper support, in the proper detachment with the proper plan. Like,
yep.
It turns out everything is more balanced people want to give it credit for.
You're right.
And now that you finally figured out where he belongs,
I did.
All of a sudden you're like, man, he's amazing.
He's
like,
fucking amazing. Anyway, all right. So that being said, I did my prompt 2 apology to the public. Now go. What's 11th edition?
Since we've diverted from the 11th edition box already, I suppose we'll stay diverted. They showed off GW official selling terrain. And this is like pre-painted, pre-colored terrain. First off, several things. Let's talk about the models themselves. The models themselves look pretty reasonable. It's a very GW aesthetic, kind of what they've had for some of their older terrain. No complaints. The coloring, if from the video, right? We haven't actually seen it in person.
Mm-hmm.
From the video, looks pretty decent.
I've got no complaints. It looks really nice.
It looks decent. Obviously, I hope that's not like the better version they had, and then we're gonna get some like shitty WizKids painted versions. But
wow, if WizKids could hear you now,
they know what they're about. But again, assuming that's the quality we're getting, I don't have any real complaints about it. Here's where I'm gonna go. First off, the company needed to do this, right? GW, this was the correct move.
Absolutely.
They needed to put out terrain that mattered, because other than Kill Team, which most Kill Team terrain you had to like chop up and convert to work for 40K in the first place, they needed to put out a terrain set for 40K so that people, whether it's they're playing in their basement or the garage or whatever, like they were allowed to play something that made sense. I'm really glad they're doing this. Now that I've said that, it's a trap, don't do it. For your average person, you don't need this. First off, most of you, not all of you, most of you have a local game store, right? They already have terrain. Also, if you are one of those people, because we've already had some, not technically our store, but like a close store, complain about how all their people are bitching up a storm about how all the terrain has to be converted to these new sets. That is not true at all. I'm telling you, without question, GW is putting out these sets, and yes, these sets match the pictures, but these are not the mandatory sets.
Nope.
Okay? They are actively encouraging you to mix up the terrain to some degree. Not entirely. They're not saying do whatever the fuck you want. They're still saying here are the templates. Here's the places that you're not supposed to be able to walk through unless you're infantry v swarm. Here's the parts that you can walk through. These need to be under a certain like number of inches so that everyone gets to walk through them. Like they are giving you guidelines, but also there's absolutely nothing saying that it has to be these sets. Matter of fact, there is several things that are explicitly saying it does not have to be these sets.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest examples, first off, before I even get to that example, I guess, the point of contention that I think with this other store and them kind of like some of those guys play here and stuff like that too. The little double silo thing that's supposed to go on one of the 4x6s. It's what's in the picture. That's what's coming in the set. The answer is that piece is not intended to be special. That piece is not intended to be mandatory. That could be another wall. That could be anything else. It could be one of the big silos from Kill Team. It could be like something else. It doesn't have to be that, okay? One of the best examples I can give you is the information they have given you of here's the official measurements of the templates. They do not match the pictures they show you objectively, and they acknowledge that. And they're saying they did that intentionally because the template measurements are intended to be precise, right? Like if you're going to make a template, here's the size it should be, roughly.
Yeah.
Then the pictures they showed you, they put the jagged edges on some of the sides. That's intended to show you that it's like, this is a rough measurement. It doesn't have to be exact. Get off my ass. Also, the two right angle templates, they gave you exact measurements, right? Okay. Exact measurements, put them together. Then in the picture, they do not show that because they show that like, oh, the little pointy end actually has like a 2-inch section.
Yep.
Okay. That 2-inch section isn't on it. First off, it's not in their measurements, period. But they show that there, and that 2 inches combined with the other section, which is shorter than the number they told you, makes it to where it all works out to their measurements correctly. So the precise measurements that they gave you in number form are correct. That's what you're supposed to use, roughly. Going by the picture is a mistake. They specifically said they don't want you to go by the picture in like 5 different ways now. I know I'm bitching about this a lot, but I'm trying to make this very clear before the internet goes wild and starts giving tournament organizers and everybody else a bunch of shit for like, you didn't all buy the new GW terrain. First off, if you want us to do that, boy, howdy, will some people do that. And you know what that actually means? It means that all those people playing in their garage who need to purchase that will have 0 chance to purchase that. If stores convert all of their terrain, there is not a single regular customer that is going to be allowed to own one of those for the next 3 years. They're just not going to produce enough. So do not mandate your stores to use only that terrain. All right, I'm going to get off my bitchin' box. Again, terrain sets are good. If you're playing in your house, I encourage you to get them. Also, if you're playing in your house and you already have terrain that works for like the tournament format, you don't need to change a damn thing. Okay? That still works. You got some old terrain that arguably works for the new terrain layouts that you haven't played with in forever. Bust that out. Use those. So to the actual data sheets, we've got a nice list here, mostly orcs, some space marines, because it's all about the 11th edition box, right? I'm going to start with the Daka rig. I am so freaking impressed. I love this thing. I don't know what its points are, and I'm telling you, it's awesome. I read the data sheet, and I thought there was a mistake. I'm not joking. I read it and like, oh, there's a chain gun. That's pretty great. The ability says more shots for chain gun during the WA. That makes sense. That's pretty great. Rockets. That makes sense. There's like an extra rocket on every tank. Wait, it has 6 shots? Why does it have 6 rockets? The model doesn't even, I don't think, show 6 rockets on the bottom. I think it shows like 4 or 5. That's kind of really good. And that's on top of
back on the menu, boys.
That's on top of Rocket's got the buff from the strength. Like now they're strength 10 or way better. Oh, that's pretty solid. I'm kind of in love with this walker. The only thing I'll say is its melee is kind of mediocre for being an orc, but also it's meant to be a vehicle that's a shooty vehicle, not melee. It makes sense. Okay, I'm not actually upset about it, but like, it's fine. This thing is going to be surprisingly good. Moving on, then we got the land speeder. Okay, there's been a lot of talk about this land speeder being amazing. I'm not convinced. I'm not saying it's bad, okay? I'm saying this thing is so points dependent because like the move, shoot, move is not move, shoot, move. It's move, shoot, scoot, I guess.
Move, shoot.
Yeah, it's like move, shoot, trip a little bit. It moves incredibly fast, okay? It has a reasonable amount of damage output depending on its points, okay? I'm not saying it's good damage output. I'm saying it's okay depending on its points. I'm not mad about its damage output. Then it has this little scoot thing. But the fact that the scoot thing is D6 inches on a model that's at least 3 inches wide, you're saying 50% of the time I'm not going to be able to hide. I don't know that matters. I'm not mad about it, right? Like going up, getting in melt range, and then scooting back, making their charge a little harder. Well, and that sounds decent, right? Like, again, I'm not mad at it, but also it's not crazy good. If it was flat 6 inches, I'd be way more impressed. But at D6, it's okay. It's not bad. Also, with the way, I don't remember the official wording of the command reroll in the next edition, but it's not that different from the 10th edition one, and the 10th edition would not let you reroll that roll. So, like, if you roll bad, you're stuck with a bad roll. Not that you'd want to spend a CP on it anyway, but, like, again, this thing isn't bad, but it is points dependent. I think people are giving it way too much hype without the points to justify what it's actually doing. Next, we got the Eradicators with heavy bolters. These things are mighty impressive. I'm not saying they're like an auto take or anything, but considering how prevalent orcs are going to be at the beginning of this edition, because they're the main, like, you know, bad guy or whatever, these are going to be in a lot of lists for quite a while. Halfway through the edition, are they still played? Maybe. Are they played as often? Definitely not. But right out the gate, these things are going to be so sought after because they just clear hordes like nobody's business. And one of the buffs that no one really recognizes yet is that cover's changing. Yeah, they're only AP 1, but cover doesn't negate that anymore. That's pretty good. If you haven't seen, basically they're heavy bolters with a bucket of dice, right? They've already got sustains. That sounds good. Their ability effectively gives the unit blast against non-vehicle, non-monster, I think. Which in most cases, not all, most cases probably also means non-mounted. Like, so they're going to have a mountain of dice at strength 5, AP 1, flat 2 damage with sustained. I think this is going to be really good for clearing units.
Yeah.
Even Space Marine units, like a 10 brick of Assault Intercessors or something, right? Like, this is still really solid. Wounding on 3s, AP 1 isn't super impressive, but the flat 2 damage means every failed save is a dead guy, and you get a mountain of dice. Again, this is pretty solid. I think it's really good. And for what it's worth, we don't have points on like any of these yet, right? So like we don't Dakarig, Eradicators, including Landspeeder. We don't have points for this. So like I could end up being wrong here, but strictly on datasheet, I think they're really good. Strictly on datasheet, I think Landspeeder's okay.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got a bunch of orc characters, kind of like all the same day. So there's the new Pain Boy, which is not remarkably different than the old Pain Boy, but is just different enough that I think he's definitely better. The only so he still gives the unit 5 of Feel No Pain, which is decent, right? Good. No complaints. That's what he's there for. His ability and his syringe got modified slightly. So now, and this, again, some of this already existed on the previous data sheet, but I'm just going to go over like the whole thing so that it makes sense. His syringe is like a 201, no one cares about it, extra attacks. Single attack, it's not impressive. The reason it's good is because it has anti-infantry 4+ and precision, which still sounds really unimpressive, right? Because it's AP 0, 1 damage, who cares?
Yeah.
But on almost a guaranteed 4 up to wound and precision, again, so any character that's infantry on a 4+ you wound, and his ability says, in addition to the AP 0, 1 damage, which almost certainly isn't going to do anything. Okay, that's fine. That character is going to take D6 mortal wounds. First off, it's mortal wounds, which means like damage reduction from Gravis doesn't really happen. The fact that they're mortal wounds means like your 4-up invul, or even like the Drukhari guy, right? 2-up invul. Makari, or the which is from Orcs, and then the Drukhari character Archon that have the 2-up invul. Just take the mortal wounds. That's pretty good. And they're like, because they're mortal wounds, they're in separate packages, which is pretty good. But that also means that they splash over, right? They still have precision. So like I can deal 1 mortal wound to Makari, killing him, and then we can put the rest on Gaz. Hell yeah. Right? Like, I mean, we're talking about orcs on orcs or whatever here, right? But like, that's still an option, especially considering how popular orcs are going to be. That's going to happen a few times. So I think Pain Boy is great. Okay. He has technically gotten a buff. It's a really minor buff, but it is a buff. I'm happy about it. Pain Boy's good. Weird Boy. Weird Boy is almost entirely unchanged. Again, minor changes, but it's next to nothing really. I have the same opinion that I had now. On paper, the Weird Boy is amazing. On the tabletop, the Weird Boy is a trap. When you uppy downy things, that is very powerful. I'm on board. Here's the problem. What are you putting him in? Uppy downy and Gaz. Hell yeah, that's amazing. Also, you're also uppy downing at least 10 boys on top of him, if not 20. Like on turn 1, it's like 20 brick of boys, Gaz plus this Weird Boy. Where are you going to deep strike? Like 7 inches forward from where they probably already were? Is it really that good?
So good.
Again, on paper, he's amazing.
Yeah.
I love him. You could do so much with this. The reality is, I think it's mostly a trap. You're probably not uppy downing until like turn 3. And even when you are, you've got like a kind of really fucked up unit that probably didn't have a ton of models left anyway. So like that's the only reason they could fit into that corner anyway. Like, and you're still talking about a 9-inch charge, which isn't great. It's not bad, but like it's not good by any means. So like it feels like a trap. Now it's a dope model. Don't get me wrong. I love the model itself. The model's amazing. I think if I was taking Weird Boys on my list, I'd be taking Weird Boys with like a smaller unit so that I could deep strike on turn 1 and actually be allowed to be placed somewhere. I would be trying to elitist them. I wouldn't be uppy downy and Gaz, because Gaz plus a brick of boys could have probably run to wherever you were going in the first place. And if he couldn't, he wasn't going to be able to deep strike where you're trying to go. It's just too big of a unit. So again, Weird Boy has a place. Weird Boy is good. I think the current way that people have been using the Weird Boy, or have been talking about using the Weird Boy, isn't the right place for him.
No.
So I think Weird Boy is going to come out. Everyone's going to use him. They're going to realize all the flaws, and they're going to stop using him, which is a mistake, instead of trying to find where he belongs. Try to watch out for that if you're an orc player. Next, we got the Big Boss, which is our lieutenant-esque character. The Big Boss is okay. He's not crazy. He's just pretty reasonable. I'm convinced the Big Boss is kind of underwhelming, except for when you stack him. So like he doesn't have any rules that say like he can lead a unit even if there's already a war boss or something like that, right? The only way to stack him currently, new codex might change things, But currently, the only information we have to stack him is with regular boys, because the regular boys datasheet says as long as one is a war boss, you're allowed to take a second character. So giving a unit sustained 1, solid, love it. That's about all he does. He is nowhere near as good as a war boss as far as his damage output. Even with the cleave on his datasheet, it's like 7-1-2 with cleave. It's all right. I'm not mad about it. But sustained 1 is good. If that's all you're giving to the unit, I don't know that I'm all that impressed. I'd rather have a war boss. I'd rather have even like kind of the new Pain Boy. I'd almost rather have, depending on what you're going with, right? So like he could be decent in Breaka Boys. He absolutely is good in Boys because you're stacking something else in there.
Yeah.
But by himself, I'm not crazy impressed. Because I kind of read Big Boss first, I was actually excited about putting him with Breaka Boys. Okay, I'll totally say that. I think he could be okay there by himself. Moving on to War Boss. War Boss is almost identical to his old data sheet, except for the weapon swap. Okay, so he got rid of his Power Claw, because that's what everybody was taking. And he's got the new custom Big Choppa, which is actually a Power Claw with cleave. This is really good. It's like a significant upgrade, especially considering during the WoW he has like 10 attacks with cleave. It's pretty good. I'm happy about it, okay? But because his abilities, +1 to hit for the unit that he's in, also +4 attacks for himself during the WoW, again, we come back to like, oh man, he'd be really good in Breaka Boys, giving them +1 to hit. I think I'd rather have +1 to hit on Breaka Boys than the sustained 1. That just sounds more consistent and a little better. Also considering you only get one character in that unit, the War Boss objectively does more damage than the Big Boss. So I think I'd rather go War Boss. Now again, stacking things, right? War Boss is amazing. The fact that you can stack a War Boss and a Weird Boy, or a War Boss and a Pain Boy, or, you know, like even 2 War Bosses technically. So you just get a mountain of damage out of characters. Those all sound good to me. War Boss with a Big Boss, I think is really impressive, right?
Yeah.
But that's because you're stacking them. Individually, one's good, one's okay. Together, they're both great. Going on the WoW, 10 attacks with cleave. So let's say, you know, 11 or 12 attacks, and then you're giving all those sustained 1 with +1 to hit. That's all great. Love it. So then we've got Nob with WoW Banner. For most of our Orc players, they already know Nob with WoW Banner existed before.
Yeah.
He got Legends, now he's coming back. This Nob with WoW Banner is not as good as the old one. The old one used to let you WoW with a specific unit that he was in an additional time. So you would gain the invul, right? Which is good. That's still true. But being able to WoW a second time, you would like get an invul the second battle round, and you would get to advance and charge again. And that's all really good. Now you get the 5-up invul all the time. Technically better. More importantly, you get, instead of being able to WoW a second time, which is effectively taking away the advance and charge a second time.
Yeah.
You are gaining +1 to your toughness for the unit. Generally, this is definitely not as good. Okay. Especially because you could stack the Nob with WoW Banner in like Boys with a War Boss. So you're getting the 4 extra attacks, 2 battle rounds. The old one was definitely better, but this one is still decent. It's a different play style, right? You are taking a unit and you are saying, I'm going to survive longer. I'm not paying for damage increase. I'm paying for surviving longer. 5-up invul, good. Especially considering how bad like regular Boys saves are, right? 5-up invul, good. Then on top of that, +1 toughness, so you're just making less saves. Also good. I'm not mad about him. I think he's good. Matter of fact, I'm going to say he's great. But I have to acknowledge for the people who used to play with him, who have like the old Finecast 1 sitting around or whatever.
Yeah.
He's not as good as he used to be. I still think you should play him, but he's not as good as he used to be. And then non-character, there was some information about the new Big Track. This was another Forge World Finecast kind of thing. Well, it wasn't Finecast, it was Forge World, but resin thing that they legends, and now they're bringing back again. This thing's also pretty incredible. Again, we don't know its points, so it might not be as good as I think it is, right? Because depending on points, it could turn out to be way too expensive. I don't know. But going off datasheet, it's got rockets on it again. D3 plus 3.
Yep.
Which is to say it's minimum 4 rockets. If they're anywhere near as cheap as they used to be, this is pretty good. I'm pretty happy about it. Again, I don't know where he's going to end up. To me, he falls very similar to the land speeder of like, if it's cheap enough, I'm going to say this is an auto include. If it's appropriately pointed, it's decent and no one's going to bat an eye, happy about it. If it's too expensive, everyone's going to be excited about this data sheet and then no one's going to play it. Unfortunately, that's where we are. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of other things that, like, obviously if it's too expensive, nobody's going to play it, and that's true across the board. But there are things that I think, like, if they're too expensive, for example, the DACA rig, even if it is too expensive, I can't imagine someone not trying it anyway. I can't imagine someone not playing it because the model's just that cool, right?
Yeah.
Same with, like, Waz DACA. He is so cool. I don't care if he was, like, 50 points too expensive. People are going to play him anyway. Yeah, maybe they're going to bitch about it and they're going to drop his points because they're all bitching about it. But, like, we're still playing it. He's so cool. Look at him. The Big Track and the Land Speeder are ones that I think if they're too expensive, they just won't see the tabletop because their data sheet is okay. So, yeah, I've rambled on enough. There's a lot of spoilers. Obviously, there's more coming. Depending on when you listen to this, there's about to be a, like, mock game that GW is putting on that everyone gets to watch.
Yep.
So you'll be able to kind of sneak a bunch of rules that they haven't spoiled yet. Also, they'll, you know, kind of show you some things. Obviously, just like plenty of other YouTubers, there's going to be parts of this game that are a little dramatized, right? Like they intentionally set it up and make some choices to make the game entertaining. If the dice spike really bad, they're going to not directly say it, but they're going to show you, like, we're going to make some poor choices here so that the game becomes a little closer to even. And like, that's just what's going to happen. And that's not to say there's anything wrong with that. It's more entertaining if the game's close, right? But keep that in mind. What you're watching is, I'm trying to learn. I don't care about who's winning. I don't care about what's powerful, what's not. I'm trying to learn the core rules, not is their list any good? Not are these data sheets any good? That's not relevant yet. We will all deal with that later after we learn the base rules.
Yep. Well, with that being said, I don't think I have anything to add. Are you all 11th out for now?
For this week, I think so.
Well, on that note, I guess we thank you all for listening. Tune in next week. Hey everybody, it's Aaron. I want to thank you again for tuning in for this episode of Gopher's Workshop with us, hanging out and listening. Remember, leave a 5-star review. Let us know what you think. And if you feel like supporting us, you can always go to Patreon in the show notes below. Thanks. Till next time.